Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, The Crafty Quinn. My name is Megan and I love to make budget-friendly decor using mostly Dollar Tree items. Now if you picked up any of Dollar Tree's adorable new fall or Halloween window clings and now you aren't sure what to make with them, then this video is for you. There are so many ways you can use them, and in today's video I'm going to show you 10 different ways. 5 are fall themed and 5 are Halloween themed. These are the window clings I'm going to be using in today's video, so you have them for reference. They are all so gorgeous and cute, it makes me so excited for next year's. So without further ado, let's get started. DIY number 1. Now I will say this is probably the longest DIY of today's video. Most of these crafts only took a few minutes because you really only need Mod Podge and then you can turn this into something fancy, such as this truck from the fall window cling that I just showed you. So this truck, I thought how cute would it be to make a pizza pan sign. I used a pizza pan from Dollar Tree, and as you can tell I painted this entire sign white first. It's actually a plaster color from Waverly, and then with little Mod Podge I just decided to stick on this blue truck, and then also I wanted to see if I could get the word gather to fit as well. I did have to cut down that other window cling. It had a couple lines above it and below it, so I did cut down the gather window cling just a little bit just to make sure it would also fit on top of this pizza pan. And just did a little bit of smoothing, you know, just wanted to get the air bubbles out. You don't have to do anything fancy, and that is why I love these window cling crafts, because all you need is a little bit of Mod Podge and just spread it out, and then, you know, either way it does dry clear, so you don't really have to worry about any of, you know, the white stuff kind of lingering after this dries, because maybe you put a little too much on like I kept doing. But do not fear. And you can just kind of, also what's great about it is, you know, if you do happen to put a lot of Mod Podge on these window clings, it kind of makes it a little bit easier to like maneuver them around and kind of, you know, readjust them and everything after you've placed them down, because it does take a little bit of time to dry. I wouldn't say it dries right away. Maybe with some of these they do, but not in my experience with the ones that I made in this video anyway. I still had a little bit of wiggle room after I laid them down. So I took these half beads and I put them around the entire inside of this pizza pan, and yes, it did take me a while, and it was really hard to do with a kitten that wanted to play with these wooden beads the entire time. But all I needed was some hot glue, and these half beads stuck down great. I have them linked below for you. If you can't find these half beads, I'm actually going to be buying more because I use most of them for this craft. So if you are having trouble finding them, I found them from Amazon in kind of a multi-pack with a slightly bigger size and this size. So I have it linked down for you below just so you can easily get to them. And this didn't, you know, it wasn't quite like a perfect fit because I did have a gap right there, as you can tell, but that's totally fine. We are going to cover it up with a humongous bow. And I felt like there was too much white space at the bottom, so I added another little piece of a window cling, also from the same one that I got this truck and gather from. And it's really just a simple, quick sign, other than the would-be gluing. So I took this ribbon from Dollar Tree. I actually cut off the wire edges. I'm not a big fan of those like super shiny wired edges on some of these Dollar Tree ribbons, and it looks a little bit too fancy for what I'm going for, more of a rustic look. I did cut off some burlap. I want to say I got this burlap from Michael's in their ribbon section. It has really served me well. I've used basically the whole thing. Oh yeah, the whole roll at this point, so I need to go get more actually. So I took 2 pieces of the burlap, I kind of cut them each on an angle, and then what you see me doing here now is just attempting to cinch it all together. And this ribbon from Dollar Tree is very thick. It's actually a 6-foot ribbon roll, and I don't know if I got it this fall or last fall, but they normally have it out in fall. I think this color was, I want to say it was there last year too. I don't think it's a brand new one. So I just cinched it and just tied this a couple times over just to make sure it would definitely stay with some jute twine. And what you see me doing here is just using a lot of hot glue to make sure that this humongous bow would actually stay. And what do you know, it covers up that gap, doesn't it? So I don't know, I didn't want to leave it like this. I love to embellish and just kind of keep going sometimes. And sometimes I don't really know when to stop embellishing, but I decided, you know what, I'm going to add a little button to this and then see how that looks. So this is on my shelf, and so I have all of my fall decor set up on the top shelf, and this was the end result, and I have to say, I love this. It was such an easy sign to make. And now with DIY number 2, we're gonna go on to an even easier sign. And this one was actually inspired by Crafts by Kaylin. And so she used this this plastic plate, and she used the same window cling in the middle, but I'm doing it slightly differently because I wanted to put some embellishments onto this, not just leave that in the middle. And I kind of did something similar to her. I didn't actually even need to use Mod Podge on this. And what's great is that, you know, if it's going to stick on its own and you don't need to use Mod Podge for this window cling, then why not? And you can reuse the window cling later for another project. So I just used some floral wire and just wrapped up some of these Dollar Tree floral picks. And then I used more Dollar Tree ribbon, made a adorable little bow, just kind of cut the edges and just laid that right on top. And then super easy, the sign is done. And this is next to my other sign. On to DIY number 3. So now we're going to be making the sign that was right next to that plate that I just showed you. So this is one of Dollar Tree's galvanized metal mason jars. I think it's actually new because I do not remember seeing this last year, but I am just measuring out now the scrapbook paper that is going to go on top of this galvanized metal mason jar sign. So I'm just measuring it out because I'm about to trace it. And the scrapbook paper I got from Hobby Lobby. So this is the window cling that we're going to use in the middle. And just a quick trace with some pen is all you need to do. I was trying to figure out what to do in the middle of this sign because of the window cling, and I wanted to make sure that it would definitely stand out. So I was trying to measure and see where I needed to start painting because I decided to paint the very middle of this mason jar. Now to stick down this, sorry if he blocks the view, this is Eddie, our kitten, who has now decided to join me on all of my crafting adventures. My other cat, Marcus, the crafty kitty, he is just in his lazy cat days, I guess. And Marcus is only about 2 years old, and he's like, okay, I'm over this, I just want to sleep. But any kind of movement on the table and my kitten just has to be there. So anyway, what you see me doing here now is I'm using more of that plaster Waverly chalk paint. I absolutely love it. So I just went ahead and painted the middle of this just to make sure the scrapbook paper would definitely cover the edge below this window cling here. I used some Mod Podge to secure the window cling on top of the paint and just press down to get rid of any air bubbles. Sorry if you hear any snoring in my voiceover. I also have my dog Harley sleeping right below me as I record this. So I'm using some Elmer's glue and I'm putting it on top of the paint as well, and luckily the paint does not come off on top of the Elmer's glue, but this is just to secure my scrapbook paper down. It wasn't a absolute perfect fit, and that's fine. I just later went ahead and used my finger sander to sand the edges of this. So for the top of this mason jar, we're using a gray color. It's another Waverly color, and it's Waverly by Plaid. So it is called Mineral, and I like it because it after a couple coats, it kind of comes out a medium gray color. So I did a similar step for the top, and I also traced the rest of this mason jar again on that scrapbook paper. So next I'm using some white Waverly chalk paint, and Eddie is, I guess, sealing some ribbon, potentially. He wanted to watch what I was doing because I had a paintbrush in my hand. So I just kind of drew these tiny little lines. Yep, I gotta move them again. I drew these tiny little white lines, and I wanted to make it look like the lid of a mason jar, so I did all this freehand and just drew a few lines in the middle going across, because like I said, I'm trying to make this look like a lid of a mason jar. So these are some paintbrushes that I got from Michael's, and I really like them because they have kind of like a slanted edge, and it makes it a lot easier for those lines. So for the back, I decided, you know what, let's jazz this up a bit with some jute twine, and I'm just securing this jute twine with some hot glue and just kind of putting it near the part where I want this to wrap around in the front. So I wrapped this around about 3 times right here in this part. My jute twine got all knotted up from being in a ribbon basket. I don't have I don't have all my ribbon hung up because I get so many every time I go to Dollar Tree that now I have a ribbon basket. Does anyone else have a ribbon basket like me? I need a better storage system for my ribbon rolls. So I did something similar to the top of this little window cling as well. So I have jute twine above and below the window cling. And then I decided to double up some jute twine a bunch of times and just cinch it in the middle to make a little jute bow, and then add on a button. I love embellishments, can you tell? And then this is the end result next to my plate and all my other fall items here using window clings. And this mustard color window we're going to show you now in DIY number 4. Now, I don't know if you guys saw these cathedral windows this season, well, technically this summer I guess they came out, but a lot of people kind of walked past the mustard colored cathedral window at my Dollar Tree, but when I saw it, I thought it was perfect for fall, and I was like, why would you walk past this? I love this color. And you know, you don't necessarily have to do anything with it because it's just perfect for fall. So I took a little scrap wood piece here. The scrap wood piece is from Dollar Tree. It comes in a pack of, I don't know, maybe 6 or 8, but all of mine are scattered, so I don't really know anymore. But I'm just measuring out where I'm gonna cut this wood with my miter shears. And these miter shears, I found them on Amazon. I think you can find them at Home Depot also, but I got mine from Amazon. So if you just want to order it quickly and make sure you get the right pair, I do have a link for you also for this one in my description box below. All of my supplies, I try to link them down in my video description just so that they're easy for you to access and you don't have to go searching everywhere for them. So we're using more Mod Podge, and again, I used way too much, but that is totally fine because, like I said, it dries clear. And then what I ended up doing was I did coat the front of this with Mod Podge also, just to kind of get rid of any shininess, and it makes it better to photograph as well because there's no shininess, no metallic looking or whatever you want to call it, but there is glitter on these words, and so that kind of covers it up nicely as well. So I had this glued down, and then I did paint the edges here. I just painted them green, as you can tell, because the blank wood was standing up too much. And this was the end result, and you don't really need to do much. You know, this is a really simple craft, and I really liked the way it turned out. DIY number 5. So for my last fall DIY, this is super simple. I love this little drawer from Dollar Tree. They have 3 different sizes. I'm using this very smallest size they have of this set of drawers. Well, it's not really a set, you buy each piece individually, but you know what I mean, there's 3. So I like the kind of plain wood background that's already inside of this little drawer. And I thought, you know, I'm just gonna cut down the edges a little bit and, you know, paint this edge here because there was some glue or something on it. So I just wanted to cover that up and give it a cute little look for like a tiered tray. And I thought it looks so cute. It says sweater and sweater weather and pumpkin spice, please. So this is perfect for a fall tiered tray. And here is my whole fall display on the top shelf. My husband was kind enough to install these shelves for me for all of my crafts and DIYs. He's like, we need a place to put all of this. So after this brief intermission here, we're going to hop on over to the Halloween crafts. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Please follow me on Instagram. And also, if you would be so kind enough to subscribe, I have a personal goal that I'm trying to reach by the end of this year of 20,000 subscribers. So please make sure to subscribe, share this video, give it a thumbs up. And this is DIY number 6. So these potion bottles are from Target Dollar Spot. Like I said, I try to use mostly Dollar Tree items, but occasionally I'll throw in some, you know, Michael's items or Target or whatever. And I mean, this was too perfect for this Hocus Pocus Halloween window cling. So we're just putting some Mod Podge on it, coating the entire back of this. And this is a glass, like a black glass bottle from Target's Dollar Spot. Well, they can't really call it a Dollar Spot anymore because nothing is truly a dollar anymore, but I guess bullseye section. But it's right there as you walk in the store. And they still had a ton of these left over. Nobody really grabbed them yet. And I thought it would be perfect for this Hocus Pocus window cling. So the top of this, I mean, it's supposed to be a pumpkin, but the top of this window cling didn't really want to cling to the potion bottle. So I did cut off the top of that window cling. But I'm using another glass bottle from that set of 3. Just Mod Podging that down, and I actually did put a layer of Mod Podge on top of this one in particular. I wanted to see how it was gonna look, but I don't think I ended up doing that to the other one that I first just showed you. But I ended up putting Mod Podge entirely on top of this window cling just to see how it would look. I love that it takes away the shininess, and then I also did some Mod Podge on the bottle itself to kind of make it like old looking, you know, it's hard to see what's in there. And these potion bottles are so adorable. And this bat potion bottle is actually from Dollar Tree. DIY number 7. So this is one of Dollar Tree's new wood signs. This is clearly supposed to be a coffin of some sort. Well, from this Halloween window cling set from Dollar Tree, they have a coffin-shaped one. So I figured, you know what, let's match it up, and I'll just put this in the middle of this wood sign after painting it completely white with some white Waverly chalk paint. And Eddie, of course, he saw me with the paintbrush. He's like, what you doing? Reminds me so much of little Marcus when he was younger. He was the same way. So I wonder if Eddie will keep his love of crafting when he's older. I did put some Mod Podge on top of this. I just kind of did that whenever I felt like, really. There was really no reason why I decided to Mod Podge over some and not others. I think I just kind of, maybe for some I forgot, but you know, I wanted to also just see how it would look. And like I said, the biggest reason to Mod Podge over it for me is really just to minimize glossiness, shininess, and I was using a matte Mod Podge specifically, so that's great for that. Now going over it with some ink, Waverly, it's like a acrylic chalky paint. So I did take actually a stencil brush. I put a little dab of black paint on this and just kind of went over it really messily just to kind of distress it because it is supposed to be Halloween coffin looking. So it's supposed to be spooky. So this is, I have a lower shelf here with all of my Halloween decor, and that is where I put this. DIY number 8. So this is a sign using the first window cling set. It says "The Witch is In." I loved it. I wanted to put some, you know, witchy things on this. So I did kind of look and see how this, you know, looked first, and then I ended up Mod Podging it to the wood piece first. I don't know why I did that, because then I went back and I did paint the whole thing white. I think I just couldn't decide what color I wanted this wood piece to be, but so I ended up painting it later after it was already Mod Podged. I don't know. I change my mind so much as I'm crafting. You know, it's just whatever goes. And there is no perfect way to craft. It's just, you know, whatever your heart feels like. So I touched up all of those edges, and then finally I did something similar to what I just did with the coffin craft, and I took the black paint and the stencil brush and I just went over it completely to give it a dirty look. I took one of these little witch brooms from Dollar Tree. They come in a pack of 3. They have them every Halloween. And I did actually cut down this witch's broom because it wasn't going to fit on there completely. I did cut down the bottom of the actual broom, like the actual like hay sticks or whatever it's made with. I cut that down so it would fit on top of this sign. And this sign was, you know, it just had some jute twine in it, so I guess it's supposed to hang on your door handle or whatnot, but that's where this is gonna go, or it can just sit on a shelf. So I used some hot glue, and I glued down this witch's broom, and what I was trying to maneuver there in the background that you couldn't see was me just trying to figure out this bow. Sorry it got cut off there. But I thought this bow was the perfect addition. I did take some more hot glue just to the handle of the broom. I wanted to make sure this would truly, truly stick. And it's not something that's going to go outside or anything, so I'm not worried about that. So I did put the jute twine that it came with back onto here. So it's ready to hang wherever you want to put this. I got a little picky at the end. So I didn't show you the end result of that one because it is going to go with this craft. And then I'll show you the end result of both of them together. And this is DIY number 9. So this is one of Dollar Tree's kind of newer items in their Dollar Tree Crafter Square section. And I love this because it's, you know, house shaped and you can do so much with that. So I painted this first with white Waverly chalk paint. And this window cling, I did kind of have to cut a little bit at the top at an angle just to make sure it would actually fit inside this house sign. So, you know, it does fit in the corner there nice, but you just kind of have to cut it down and cut it down until it fits. And then I did have to cut the very bottom of this window cling as well, but this is a super easy craft. Just takes really a few minutes. But it is one of those ones that you just have to kind of keep messing with until it sticks, and then also just kind of keep messing with to make sure it will fit right in the very top center of this. And then I took some hot glue and I took a Dollar Tree witch's hat, and these also come in a pack of 3. I think there's like an orange one, there's a blue, purpley one, and then there's a green one. So this is the purpley blue one, as you can tell, and I thought it matched really well. So this is the end result of both of those crafts. So cute. I'm so ready for Halloween, y'all. So, last but not least, DIY number 10. We have made it to the end here, folks. So, this was a lot harder than it looks. This is another home shape sign. I had this from my crafting stash, and I just took a hammer, a tiny hammer, and just kind of kept hammering at it until eventually the back of it came out. And what you see here is this it's supposed to be a lantern, but I decided to hot glue this kind of like clear bat, I don't know what you want to call it, wrap. So I took that piece and I just glued it down to the back of this sign because I'm kind of trying to make a lantern of sorts with this home sign. And I mean, I was thinking about taking that black construction paper and kind of putting that all around the sides, but I don't like to do anything easy, and I ended up just painting the whole thing. So this is a window cling from that glittery pack that I showed you at the beginning, and I wanted something that had kind of a see-through piece to it, and I wanted something that would actually really show the lights when you turn all the lights off, and you can turn it into a Halloween lantern display. So this is how it looks during the day, and this is how it will look at night. It changes colors, and for some reason it didn't change colors the first time when I was filming this. Of course not, but it does change color, which I'm about to show you. So it changes to green, and this little light actually came with the lantern that I cut up to make this. So check those out at Dollar Tree's Halloween section. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have an amazing week. And if you want to check out more videos, watch them here on the left. And let's keep in touch on Instagram, and please subscribe and share. Thanks so much.